So, good evening, guys. So, let's talk about it. You saw the description. Um, it's exactly what it sounds like. We're talking about why all of these places, like the red pill, exist, all the other various pills. And I'm not honestly familiar with all of them. I'm only familiar with like the black and the purple pill. So, if there's any other ones, guys, let me know down in the comments because we can explore this information together. Um, but let's get right into it. So the red pill is honestly in reference to the movie The Matrix. There's other connotations, of course, that other people may bring along with it. Um, so it just relates to the fact that Neo was given, that is the main character. If you aren't familiar with the movie The Matrix, the movie, of course, follows the lead character, who is Keanu Reeves, everybody's favorite, John Wick. And in that movie, he is, given the choice midway through the film, actually early on in the film, very early in the film, to take either the blue pill, which would allow him to stay in the dream, which was the Matrix, and live his life as if nothing had ever happened, or to take the red pill, which would be a hard, where life would be hard, but you would see the absolute truth. Um, and if you really sit down and look at it, it does connotate a lot of the hard truths that we as a community, and I say that as an American community, don't like to highlight. Um, for reasons I can honestly understand for the most part, because the people don't really like to look at their ugly sides. And who would want to? It's a difficult thing to look at your weaknesses and to, want to change that, because we all come into this world with a little bit of things that aren't our best skills and things of that nature. We all come in as a blank slate, right? And everything that is written on those pages is things that we learn. And we have to allow ourselves to learn that some things that we need to structure upon to build a true foundation, and not a foundation built upon the things that we wish upon in our head. Because manifestation is just a part of the journey if you are trying to truly succeed. And to succeed in everything, it takes both your mind, body, and spirit. So you need to think with your mind, and you could manifest, imagine, dream it. Then you need to then, utilize that energy to take action to bring that which is in your head into reality. Then your spirit and all that other stuff is where you connect the dots and all those other kind of things. But you can kind of suss through those things throughout that journey. Now, where the red pill takes its more direct stance is in a space where, men are asked to look at the harsh realities of the world, and come to see that things aren't the way we wish them to be. It's not as idealistic or as ideal as we want them to be. So we have to cut the fat, meaning we have to cut out all that bullshit and really get down to what really means something to us all. And sometimes, that takes the form of, almost controversial topics and hard hitting facts and information that may seem almost irrelevant to you. But if, you boil it down, all information is kind of relevant. It is only how you utilize it. So that's where the whole red pill, I feel, comes into it, because it is in direct line with what it is to look at reality. And that is another thing of this channel. So please link in when you have a chance, because I will be giving lessons on Stoicism. And Stoicism is the actual philosophy of looking at the world in its realities, seeing it for its harsh truths, and moving things to the side, because you cannot change the world around you unless you have complete mastery over yourself. And even with that, you have to know that you are not the master of the universe per se. You are just the master of yourself, and you can create the reality around you that you wish, but you have to be in the master of yourself first. Excuse me with the heavy breathing, guys. I'm working on drinking some water. So yeah, just another little introduction. I'm your host, Juice, and you're here with me on the squeeze. And to be honest, we're going to be touching a lot of controversial topics. And I just want you guys to know that I have taken a exuberant amount of time to be well researched, well read upon these things. And I'm not going to come here and say that even within the time frame that I've had to study and give you all of this information, that there may be things that I may miss. There may be information that I may be not 100% as accurate, only because information changes on a quite recent basis. But we have to take a hard look at all the facts, even with now back into the red pill space, because they take a hard look at the facts. And we have to do the same when we're having an argument which is based on a larger community. And we can't make it so personal that we are sitting here arguing what your lifestyle is in comparison to the lifestyle of the general population of these beautiful American soils. And I hope that you all understand that even with that, this is what I would consider tough love, because if you don't take the hard looks and allow somebody else to come and allow you to see things in a perspective that you weren't looking at, then you will be bound to fall into some stuff that would be not what you would be looking for. Which goes into a great little book that I might plug into this after the feed is over, because this is definitely my first live, and I'm hoping that I can get some good feedback from you guys after the fact, because again, first live. But this is going to be a great one, because I hope that you all come back and look at this, because this is where it's all going to begin. But back to the red pill space. So they take a hard look at all the things that are going on in the male space as far as dating is involved, relations with the typical woman, not to say someone who is of celebrity caliber or high income and things like that. But I mean, those kind of things kind of come into correlation because of the difference in the dating style and genders. And I think let me scratch that. Instead of saying I know that instead of trying to be about how we should be the same, because I don't think that we respect now the fact that we have the differences. And I say we as a community, because I myself, I definitely respect the differences that come from a woman. I love women. Of course, it's not about hating on women, but I do see that there are, in various communities throughout the nations, especially the metropolitan areas, there are certain character flaws that we're just, kind of lacking. There's values and things. And it was a time where, I thought that, that everybody being an individual and all that other kind of stuff was the thing about it. But it was more so that we traded those good home values to be in this chaos. And we thought we would be more comfortable within it. And I can clearly tell you that you don't live happily in the chaos. I'm not saying you can't learn from it. You definitely can learn from it, but doesn't mean that it's going to make you a better person. Just because you can learn from something doesn't make you better. Every lesson ain't a lesson that betters you. It might just teach you how to not do something that you shouldn't have been doing in the first place. So with that being said, you have to really take time to digest what the people are really trying to purvey to you, instead of trying to make it a personal thing, especially when most of these places, like myself, will be talking in generalities. And when you understand that it's just in a general nature, you won't be as quick to try and place yourself within that context. Now, I can understand, because anything that you can sit down and watch to that is talking to a far-reaching audience, or is even in a good enough spectrum that touches close to home, you're going to feel some type of way. Like, let's be real. If somebody says something that feels like something that will be an issue for you, You are going to feel some type of way. Me, you, anybody else. But it's how you react after that. And that's anybody. Because it's either you allow your emotions to get the better of you and you show your ass, or you try to utilize something that they try to tell you as a young child, to have integrity, to not allow those emotions that are bound to swell up to get the better of you, and to see things past your emotions. Is what the other person's saying actually true? Does it hold any weight? If it affected you, you should know that it held some weight, that it affected you enough for you to feel some type of way. And I don't think anybody should deny that. And I also think, no, I'm gonna do better on this thinking thing. But I also know that we have to get better on our ability to conversate on things that we don't take in agreement on. Now, I understand they are hard no's, right? Everybody has them. I respect that you have a hard no, things you might not want to think about or talk about. But you have to understand that by closing yourself off to that, you don't even consider the perspective of understanding, which is, if you practice the preach of equality, you would then have to understand where everybody, not the select few people that you deem listenable or, worthy to hear, worthy to be heard by you. You really have to sit down and hear everybody's perspective and not, get triggered again. Because even myself, when I got into listening to this space, I could say, yes, myself, I was a little triggered. I saw some of the things that some of these guys were saying. I come from a single mother home. I don't have any quorums talking about it. I love my mother. But I was also able to see the realities of certain things. And it's also that we need to sit down and see who truly benefits from the struggles that we are allowing ourselves to be in and to perpetuate. Because that is what the red pill is trying to say, at least as far as the people that I have seen. And that will be, the boy Kevin Samuels, who, again, man, he hit me really hard. And it was like, what the freak, man? Like, why were you talking to everybody so damn harsh? But it was like, at the same time, it was waking me the hell up, because it was just like, why sit around and not try to change yourself for the better? Why not look for better results? And that's everybody. Why not look for the best result instead of looking outside and just hoping that we're going to sit outside and somebody is just going to be able to shine the proper light upon us and somehow we reflect it? Come on now. We don't know how to be reflective. We don't even know how to shine a light. You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, people might come with certain type of personalities, energies, if that's your wave, or, looks. I don't even know what else, everybody, because everybody is so particular. Everyone to say is different, but it's definitely particular. And there could be a plethora of things, but we always boil down to like base things. And it's like we argue now about like how we are so unbased. I'm unbased. I'm unbased. I don't like the typical this. I don't like the typical that. Okay. I would love to see an American person tell me they like somebody and show me that person that absolutely no one else in this world ever felt attracted to ever either. That's the problem. That is the problem. The whole notion of everybody wanting to feel the most special gives away that nobody can be special. I have seen on countless things that same notion. If you're so special, what makes somebody else special? It's for the nerds out there. it would just be like if everybody was a Harry Potter magic mother. And I know a lot of, see, that's bumping right now. Harry Potter and that whatever game, the Legacies or whatever. And I'm a bit of a gamer myself, but I ain't playing that. Not to say there's nothing wrong with it. It's probably a good ass game, but let's just say like this: if everybody had the same story as Harry, there would be no point in the books, bro. Just like on Legacies, everybody got the same spells, but you got to pick a class. You know what I'm saying? You got to stick to a class, and then you're going to shine a little bit different. But if everybody's doing the same thing, it's no point. Why do we care to go to Hogwarts? We all got the same, you know what I'm saying? I'm wearing the same cloak, and this man is doing the same spells. Not even just that, because I know somebody might take it to the demonic. But let's just say you put it on another scale. Let's talk about athletic achievement, right? I don't think that everybody should get a participation award, because then that takes away the strength of, let's say that you have a child, or you were that child who worked years in that field to become the best. And then they give out the same trophy to everyone. What's the point of being the best then? If everyone's getting the exact same tribe's trophy and all those other kind of things, and I'm not saying that there shouldn't be some type of clap up there, but you don't even have to strive for it anymore, because at the end of the day, you are given an award. And I tell you this, all the times that I got to miss out made me want to strive for things that I did not have the ability to get. I don't know a person who has had without, who doesn't grow and make sure that they live with the ability to obtain and not have to live without again. So it might seem crazy for me to say it, but why not toughen yourself up enough to live a life worth living? But I digress. So you have the red pill, which is usually populated by men. You have other pills. You do have some up and coming, well, not even up and coming. I'll tell you, my girl, Just Pearly Things, she blew up in over a year, which was really amazing. And you have to sit down and kind of, look at why. Because it's not like she had any irrelevant content. She didn't make anything new, just like Kevin Samuels did. He's not out here reinventing the wheel. Like even these conversations that I'm having right now, if you're watching or you're watching in the future, they've been talking about this for generations. There's even women back again. There's other women. Shahrazad Ali, sister Shahrazad, I'm butchering the name. Please forgive me, sister. If you ever come across this video, I will do better on saying your name. But Sister Shahrazad Ali had a great open space, was talking about this for decades, before I was probably even born. You know what I mean? So it's not like this is something that's brand new. So I don't want anybody who's even viewing this to think that this is something new and this is a way to bash. Let's get straight to the point. I won't even cut no things. It's not to bash women, because at the end of the day, most of these people either are women, are people that love women, and we're just trying to close the gap that we are so much widening and we're not seeing. And I know that there's a lot of people who also agree with this standpoint. And I've even heard the term, and I'm just gonna get into it real quick, because I just think that this is not something that should be used as a derogatory term, but the incels, and to be honest with even the guys who identify as an incel or, move in a sense that's like that, if somebody is telling you that, just, kind of check what you got going on. I'm not telling you to completely switch it up, but don't hate women, because women aren't the issue. Granted, they are part of the problem, but we are as well. we as men are also a part of that problem. So as the solution, we have to come together and bridge the gap. So all women, I hope you love that I said that, but I'm also going to be coming for you because you also hold a weight in the gain of our love and our society, and not just the love, because we need to rebuild the family structure. This pod will be majorly that. It is the truth is that family is not even cherished or valued. It is a word. And the fact that we got to that is the issue. We're at a point where we think that words no longer hold weight and they are loosely defined. And I think this is more time to buckle down on what we know. If something is said, you need to be reliable enough to back that shit up. On top of the fact that we need to to be able to stand behind something, because if all of our words have no fucking meaning, because at the end of the day, yes, they are man-made. It is a man-made concept to even have this type of communication. But at the end of the day, the fact that you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, Chris Rock reference, is reason enough for you to be able to decipher that the meaning and the whatever, if you want to put feeling behind it, that I have for you is for you to better yourself. Because if you only see it as something that is going to put you down, then you aren't listening. You are only seeing it in from a place of hurt. And I can understand unequivocally, meaning absolutely and 100%. But we have to take ourselves out of it and then see, even if we are putting ourselves into it, where we stand with that and why. Because at the end of the day, who is accountable for us if not ourselves? Right? Who else can we blame? You know what I'm saying? So back to it. If we can't, talk about the truth, and I really want to get an episode of the Great Debaters on here because it shows what debates really were, and I think that was one of the greatest movies of all times. Because now we go out and literally talk about how we feel, and I even myself I said it on here a couple of times. I had to correct myself because it's not about what I feel; it's what I know, right? It's about what you know. It's about what we as a people know. You know, a lot of people want to go off the things that they feel, and again, I can respect it. But the things that you feel and the things that you know work are two completely different things. And if you sit there and look at what you got going on, and if your success right now, because I'm gonna get into a lot of things, man. Like the next episode I'm really gonna get into really heavy is what is money. So plug in, guys. Like link in, subscribe. Make sure you're definitely subscribing because it's gonna be a lot of stuff coming out. And you really have to. And I'll even give you a quick come up on how it really works with the money game, man. We are trading debt. So imagine this, right? Most people, and if you're watching this, if you're a 9 to 5er and stuff like that, this is again, I don't even. There's nobody watching, but it's okay because I'm gonna get you guys eventually on here. We're gonna be this is gonna be a channel that's gonna blow up out of the water, man. Juice and all of the stuff that's gonna be up in here is gonna be really out of this world. But we are trading debt, guys. We are trading each other's debt at that. So you can see a lot of podcasts with people who own a lot more money than probably myself and even most of the viewers who may be seeing this early stages, right? So what I mean by trading debt, and I'm gonna give you a real quick synopsis, is all that money that you're mandated to put in the bank, right? That money is then loaned out in several different ways to other people because you're putting your money in and then they're like, oh, okay, well, we have this money. Other people are looking for things that they want to buy, right? So we're going to take that money and give it to them, right? So then now your money has been given to Cindy, let's say Cindy, to buy her new establishment, right? And establishment meaning maybe a small business and or home. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? And with that money, she goes on and, of course, she's going to have to pay that back with the good old interest. But then that bank will then, give you that same money that she is paying back slowly to you as the cash flow, right? Now, if you were an exceedingly wealthy person and you had a plethora of dollar amounts within your bank account, now let's just say you have over $1 million because everybody wants to be a millionaire. There's literally a TV show, right? So you want to be a millionaire, right? Let's say you have about 6 million in your bank account. You're thinking about buying a home straight cash, and you're like, you want to go balls to the wall. You want to walk in there with cash, right? Do you know you have to go to the bank, request that money, right? Then they're going to tell you, whoa, we don't carry that kind of cash. You know that, right? You're going to be like, what? You're a bank. What do you mean? You change out money all day, every day, right? They're going to tell you, no, you're going to have to get an order and we're going to have to deliver it in X amount of weeks, usually 4 to 5 weeks, usually more than that. And let's say you order $1 million, right? So most probably will you not get that $1 million. I am most probably sure that they are going to bring you that money and still tax it for bringing you your own money. What? Transportation fees or what? It is just absolutely ridiculous. So that's why the uptake in the digital currency was so much more greater, because it was backed again by something that was actually tangible. And that's something I'll leave for a different episode. So then you get into the other pills outside of the red pill. With those other pills, they just try to take a different take on what is the harsh red pill. And that can be a little different as far as a lot of little different things. So you just have to kind of look out for it. But outside of that, you also have, goodness. But outside of that, you also have the fact that the red pill space has also been, like, again, shared by women, and you can honestly look at a documentary done by a woman, because I don't know how many viewers will be women in the short future or long-term future of this, but there was a lovely documentary before the time of this video done a few years back by a woman who was taking a standpoint as a feminist. And I might do a review with one of my co-hosts later on in the shows, man. So yeah, I'm talking all this big stuff, and I'm telling you guys, it's gonna be absolutely amazing. You tune in with Juice, you're gonna get the right kind of flavors. But the lady in question, I don't remember her name offhand, but she went into the MRA spaces, which we'll be getting into just after this, and looking, and also places where men were gathering and speaking their mind, and seeing that their concerns and the things that they were talking about weren't without merit. And instead of taking a personal take at it, she looked at it objectively and saw that, that the things that they had to say also very much held weight. They had a space because they were speaking about things like, the rights of birth and things like that, which is a very hot topic. And I'm not too afraid to jump into that. So it even gets into, like, where women may see that a man may not have a right. And I mean, I understand your body, your choice, right? But as a man who may be in a relationship with you, or a man who may have felt some type of way about you, and they wanted to be a father, they don't have the ability to communicate and that hold weight that they wanted to be a father. Because even you, well, I won't say you, but even the community as in large promotes your independence, and I would say that to you ladies, to the point where you think about the instant that you get pregnant that you're doing it by yourself, and you couldn't have gotten pregnant by yourself. So it's like, it's not even like, it is a two that tangoed situation. And I think that, hmm, again, I'm catching myself every time though. I know that if we were to take better care of the decisions that we were making, and when we were to look at the real consequences of said actions, that things would be different if we knew what the weight of these decisions caused and stuff like that. Because, like, I'm not sure how many, women have a full dossier on, like, and I mean, like, have read a full book on what abortions were like before they either went to a clinic to get one or even thought of going about the procedure. You know what I mean? And like everything I choose to do in my life, I've at least read up on. I've done extensive research because you can't do anything without knowing something, because that's where fear comes from. The fear is the unknown. So if you don't know, you're going to be fearful, you're going to be unsure, you're going to be lackluster, you're going to jump into things you're not, that are not good for you when you don't know. And if you knew, it would just change the world around us. And they already tell us that knowledge is key, guys. So we have to sit around and actually obtain that knowledge. So off of that hot topic, because I believe that, if you want to have your choice, just understand that there are people that also want to have an ability to choose too. Because if it's 100% on you, then it's like you are the only parent. And then what is the purpose of me even being around? Because yes, you do carry it. But I think it's a great perspective to look at it the opposite way. Within that 1 year, you can carry that one person's baby. So you should be choosing. And I mean, I don't control your body. But if it was me and I could only do one thing in that year that consisted of the magic of birth, I would choose the one person that I knew would hold me down forever. You feel what I'm saying? Not somebody I was iffy about or somebody that sold me a dream. They got to be proven. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mind that women feel like they have to get a man to be proven. But what I'm saying right now is, if you're going to prove, if you're going to test, you better test exactly the right way with the intentions that you're looking for. Let those intentions be known, and understand that there are exceptions to the rules that you may be looking for, because we are not all going to be perfect. No one is. Even the things that we might have as boundaries may be pushed or broken sometimes. But that doesn't mean the end of a relationship. I hope you guys, I don't know if you hear these sirens. Somebody's house probably burning up. That's often around here. It's never my house though. Um, but yeah, let's get into it. Like, because I mean, attraction is something that comes and goes. We all know that. But to build these strong roots, we have to look at the foundations, right? So again, with the MRA, it's like you can look at some statistics about single parent householding. I won't talk about that too much right this moment, but we know that statistically 70% of prisoners in prison today come from a single parent household. I won't say the statistics on this episode on which type of single parent household leads to a more pipeline situation to the jail system. But I just had a conversation with another mental health counselor the other night, and we also have to look at how that was the new slavery. Jail is the new slavery. 80% of the American complex comes through the American prison system. Think about that, man. Manufacturing is done where? Why are plant jobs damn near non-existent? We really got to look at that. And now I hope, even with me saying this, I know that everybody will be watching, but it's the truth. And I'm definitely a small, I don't even know. I might be a big fish in a small pond right now, because I got 0 viewers. But I know this message is going to get out there really heavy. This is not another Kevin Samuel story, but at the same time, you might find similarities, because we do need to look at the harsh truths. We do. And if we can't do that and take it upon ourselves to see what our issues are and how we can fix them, who else is going to do it for us? Because to be honest, like I've said this even to people close to myself, but the outside world, as we already know, looks at us as a joke. But it's like a burning ship that with gasoline draws on. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how we don't see it ourselves. Like, marriage rate is an all-time low, depression all-time low, suicide rates in men all-time low. And these are the things that are weird. And I say weird, I'm not with the group, the MRA, but the MRA is fighting for. They're looking for places for more mental help for men in situations of domestic violence and things like that. Because probably at the time of this video, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be dropping some information a lot of you may or may not know, but how many mental health establishments for male victims of domestic violence do you think exist in the U.S. today? I'm giving you guys a second so you can probably look it up. And I'll just say it right now. In the U.S. today, there only exists one in the entire continental United States of America. That is an absolute shame. Now, if you want to talk about equality, why don't we have equal opportunities for that? Why won't you, as the other side, want to fight for that? Because at this point, again, as a mental health warrior myself, and other people may say other words, I'm not going to get too far into it, but you kind of can get my drift. We all need a little bit of, I would say we all need a little bit of help to get our facilities correct. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anybody's house is completely clean. And when I say that it's no work that doesn't need to be done. But that also gives to say that we can do better for ourselves. And if as a community we can't do better, don't be surprised if people go looking for better results. Spin it back full circle. We need to get out here and create better results for ourselves. And to do that, we got to change a little bit. We can't just allow chaos to be the answer and expect order from it. We got to bring order to get order. Simple. Because, think about the Wild Wild West, man. If you could gun us down again, things would be a lot different. And I know a lot of people want to bring back those times. Okay, now let me swing it back because I'm catching myself too. But the MRA are looking for rights, guys. Guys and gals. The rights that seem more equivocally. They're looking for the equality and the rights that seem more catered towards women, as far as like child care and assistance for mental deprivation and despair. And not to sound like real harsh words, and things like that. Also, custody. Custody is the one of the bigger issues that comes from the MRA. And even if we get into it, because I'm going to show a couple of better cases. And I really want to get up with the lead attorney. Just as a fun fact, my father was a judge for over the entirety of my life too. Um, so I definitely have a very familiar knowledge of how the legal system kind of goes for most people. Not just saying men. I'm talking about men and women of all realms, shapes, and sizes. Um, so we just got to get out there and like really, because like even think about this, like you go to a court case and you got all this issue against you. You got to be truthful with your lawyer so they can defend you the right way. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays, like it's just like we so stuck in our own minds, man, and it's just like we gotta escape that. We got to, because it's not healthy. It's not healthy for anybody, because we don't live alone in our heads. We are creatures of light within our bodies, but we express and radiate outwards. So you need to take account for all the ish you are radiating out, because it definitely gonna come back as input to your ass. Simple as that. And you course correct, man. Simple as that. Okay, guys. Um, yeah, it's been fun chatting, Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna try to knock down some of these smiles, man. I do have a nice smile, I know. I'm not bragging on myself, but it's a serious topic. I don't want it to feel like it's less genuine because I smile. I'm just getting a little bit more comfortable with the camera in front of me. I know I don't have a too grand audience just yet, but it's going to be up there because this stuff is real. And check out this money episode I got coming up. If you like the video, please like down below. Much love, everybody. This is your boy Juice. Thank you for coming out here. Please like that comment. Smash that like button. If you liking the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you want to see more of my stuff, because Juice got all the flavors, man, and they're going to be the flavors to build your life to better. So you think about all those green juices and all that, man, you're going to need to chime in here, because we're going to have the juice that builds your life, man. So again, check in with me. Please comment down below, because I'll be very much willing to talk about some of the content or sections of this information that you guys feel is really important yourselves. And I can't be privy to everything, so of course with you guys commenting, we will touch a larger base of things that may or may not be within my realm of immediate information. All right, but this is your boy Juice with the Squeeze signing out. Peace.